So the next commandment of male nature is that you have to learn how to inflict pain. Now, today we're going to talk about inflicting pain in two different ways. One, the one that goes to hell. The one that goes to heaven right there, right? And the next one is the one that goes to hell, the Bronx mode people, all right? And it's very important to distinguish it because it pretty much determines your eternal damnation, all right? So let's begin this. And don't forget, people, if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, go to mindfulattraction.org, and there you'll be able to book a one-on-one phone call with me. And check out my paintings, people. I just sent one of the first paintings. So if you guys want to purchase my paintings done by me or by my students, you can click on the description down below. Paintings done by my students are around $300, and paintings done by me are over $1,000. And I can also have you do custom paintings. So if you guys want me to paint your dog or your kids, you just let me know, okay? All right, let's get started. So ponte más cerca. Así. Okay. So we have to do two different warnings, okay? The first warning is that this tactic is actually used by politicians. It's a dirty tactic, the inflicting pain. They use your pain to manipulate you. A perfect example, and I don't like to use it too much because, I don't want to sound racist, but it's the Democrats, how they use slavery in order to convince minorities to vote for them. Right? They'll say, hey, your grandparents were slaves and it was him. Look at the way he looks. He's white, and look at how unfair it is. They make more money than you. It must be because of racism. Vote for me. Kind of like that. And you could put the most irrational argument, but if there's that pain of racism, any argument you use, they'll believe you because they're not thinking rationally. They're thinking with trauma. And actually, this is actually another warning. It's a form of trauma bond. Right? At least for this hell section, it is a trauma bond. So what I'm trying to tell you is that this is powerful. And it's not just using it for men and people. It could be used to win any politician over. For example, if I'm at a school and everyone hates the teachers because maybe the teachers always hit on the students and they never get in trouble by the school, for example. If I want to gain power, I just speak voice to that. I'll be the one that says, yo, fuck these motherfuckers, man. Man, these P. Diddy ass teachers doing that shit, and then a lot of students, they'll feel that pain and they'll follow me. And they'll be like, you know what? On top of that, let's loot the school. And they'll do it because you're manipulating them with pain. So you gotta be careful, right? Now, when it comes to seduction and getting people to fall in love with you, is that they have to feel some emptiness. And this emptiness is something that you want to bring out, right? And above all, they must feel like you're able to fulfill that emptiness. When they see you as someone who's able to fulfill this emptiness, to attack their enemies, to fulfill their dreams, to make up for lost time, they'll feel a desire to be with you. And this can be used in both extremes, in toxic type of shit, right? Toxic, or in heaven type of shit, right? So that's what we're going to be discussing today. And if any of you guys go to hell, don't talk to Jehovah about me, okay? I gave you the option to go to to heaven, and you decided to go to hell. All right, now let's begin. So let's actually start with the heaven section, and then we could go with the hell section right towards the end, okay? So the first one is honestly a very common one, but this is something that a lot of you people miss, and I see this here in Mexico a lot, where couples don't give each other space that much. Like I've seen couples hang out 24/7 here. I've never seen anything like this. It's not the same in America. But what they're missing out is that it becomes toxic because they hang out so much. So the first thing is that you must give them the gift of absence. And this comes down with you having a freaking life. With you doing things that doesn't include them. You don't have to include them in everything. And sometimes some people have enough fear of abandonment that this hurts them. But also, some people need enough space, need distance, so this actually helps. It never hurts to give them the gift of your absence, but the key is for there to be trust. Because when you give them the gift of your absence and they don't trust you, they'll think you're banging a whole football team, all right? And above all, you use absence. Absence is akin to sleep. You learn information, and when you go to sleep, your brain doesn't encode it. When you don't go to sleep, it doesn't encode the information. It actually gets scrambled, and eventually your brain just literally becomes scrambled like a fucking egg. What you're doing by sleeping is allowing the memories to form. allowing the memories to become more ingrained. That's why sleep allows you to remember things more. In fact, studies show that when you sleep and you had a tough day, you're able to go through in your dreams, you're able to go through your day once again. It's almost like you're able to process your day once again so that you wake up refreshed. And so that's why when you go to sleep bad or angry, you literally go through that situation again when you sleep, and you'll wake up and now your thoughts are a lot more clear, right? That's why if you don't have good sleep, you don't do this. So this happens with your relationships, where they process the time they had with you, and then once you leave, then they're like, you know what? This person is amazing, but it's only done through your absence. The next one is the thought of you walking away forever. Now, it's not the same as this absence. This is just missing you. This is afraid of losing you. It's always better to be feared than loved, right? So with this is that if the thought of you walking away only comes during moments of conflict or during moments of disrespect, right? It's very important. The next one is kind of similar, is that you punish disrespect. But how do you punish disrespect? The first one is you talk about it. You talk about the bullshit that they're doing, right? You let them know that you don't like what they did. The next step is absence, temporary absence. And then after that, if that sinvergüenza, atrevido, doesn't understand that, you walk away forever, right? Until they come back and they want to fix it. But if you don't do this, I'm telling you, they're going to take you for granted. Because pain is what shows them how much they love you. If they cannot feel pain in your absence, they don't really love you. And the next thing is actually kind of similar to that, is honest critique. When they disrespect you, you punish it through having an honest conversation, right? You don't go Bronx mode and stab people. You have an honest conversation. And these things inflict pain. But to me, my most important thing is just having a life. Now, this type of pain is not the type of pain that destroys a man's ego. It's not the type of pain that makes a guy like want to attack someone. It doesn't. It's a type of pain that's like death by 1,000 cuts. Little pain that they only notice it when they're acting out, that they only notice it in your absence. But in your presence, they don't think about that. They only feel pain when you're away. They only feel pain when you guys are in conflict. And conflict is how you guys become compatible. But conflict is how you guys also realize you're not compatible. So you have to have that. And if they don't have that, well, then it's the person is not truly going to respect you. They may love you because they spend time with you, but it's the respect happens in your absence, all right? So now the next one, right? The next one is, now we're in the Bronx, people, all right? Get the sacerdote, get the agua bendita, because we're in hell right now. And get the fucking your bulletproof vest and call 911 while you're at it. The next one is create a one second, se me olvidó cuál era ese. Create a. Oh fuck! I always forget. I'm really bad at this. These quizzes, man. You can tell I failed my PSSAs. Create a wound. Now, this is evil. And creating a wound pretty much means you verbally or through your actions hurt their feelings. You verbally or through your actions find their weak spot and you verbally hit them where it hurts, right? Maybe, for example, this girl, I think this one client told me how she said that, oh no, I can't say that one. She said the guy has a small dick. And I'm like, yo, first of all, that's too much pain. All right? You don't do that shit. But you know what happened? He left, but he still came back. He still came back. And that type of pain, what happens is that you're hurting their ego so much that they feel pain, but also paradoxically, they also want to get back with you. But they want to get back to get revenge. But they'll still come back, right? And it's a trauma bond. And so another way it could be, you don't have to tell them they have a small dick, but it could be comparison to somebody else, or even or almost like through your presence and absence or acting hot and cold, you almost condition them to be anxious because they can't predict you. Literally being unpredictable opens up a wound, right? Well, if they don't have wounds, if they're happy and healthy and they had good parents, well, you hit them right where it hurts, right? The next thing is find a wound. Find a wound, and you'll notice it through the way they talk. Or maybe the things that they don't talk. Maybe they don't talk about their mom. Maybe they don't talk about their dad. Maybe they don't talk about the fact that they have small hands and they never bring it up, like me, right? Maybe you realize that they feel like they're short. Maybe you realize that they feel like they're a failure in certain things, right? For example, maybe they play basketball, for example, LeBron James, but he never finishes a book. He never, like, if you watch LeBron, he never reads. He acts like he reads, but he doesn't. So he has an insecurity of being dumb, right? That's a lot of athletes. I think LeBron's a genius, but because he's human, I could promise you, he feels insecure about his cognitive intelligence, when in reality, he has biological and athletic intelligence. But you find that wound with LeBron, I would say, yo, shut your dumb ass up. Yeah, you can play basketball, but you're an idiot. Like, you didn't even go to college. You can't even read. That shit will hurt LeBron. I promise you that'll hurt LeBron. Or even you find a wound, LeBron, you're not clutch. I promise you, LeBron James watched Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless was a guy who always compared him to Michael Jordan, right? In fact, he created a wound. And I could promise you, LeBron acted like he didn't listen to Skip. In fact, he said he never watched Skip, which is bullshit. It's because he hurt that wound. So you have two options. People either become obsessed with you, or they act like they don't know, they're not looking at you. In reality, they are. So you find that wound, you hit it. In politics, with African Americans, it's slavery, right? You find that wound, you bring it up, and I can promise you they'll pay more attention to you. With women, you talk about how men are horrible, feminists, right? Men are evil, men are lazy. And then you get their attention with that. It's not just with individuals, you see it in everywhere in life, right? And this is something that the people who love you the most, they know how to do this. Right? The people who love you the most know how to find that wound. And what this does is that it trauma bonds you. But you got to be careful because they want revenge. The next thing is unfulfilled past, or unfulfilled desires, unfulfilled fantasies. For example, maybe they were young and they never had girls when they were younger, right? Now, because of that, I can promise you, guys who didn't get chicks when they were younger, they'll cheat with younger women, because they want to relive that, right? So if a younger woman comes up to this guy who's like fucking 28, for example, and she's like 19, 20, and he never got to date a 19 or 20-year-old when he was that age, he'll be attracted to her because she represents an unfulfilled past. So better yet, a 60-year-old guy who never got poom poom in his 20s, he'll be attracted to women that young because they never fulfilled that in the past, right? It could be that a woman never had a boyfriend when she was a kid because she was a Christian. Right? So she'll be addicted to someone who could tell her what she wants. Unfulfilled desires from the past, you find what that is, bring it up, and present yourself as though you're someone who could fulfill it. If they see you as someone who could fulfill that past through the promises and bullshit you lie to them, they're attracted to you. They'll see you as someone who could fulfill the past, and as a result, you're able to fill up the emptiness. That's what desire truly is. The next one is you find a current, dissatisfaction. Casanova did this a lot, where he would seduce younger women who were bored. And so he will present himself as this exotic person from another land who dresses nice, similar to that. For example, if you're an exotic person, go to a village, go to a small village and find a woman who's bored, and that woman will be more attracted to you. It could be that you're dating someone who's really busy and his wife doesn't provide him any sexual pleasure, and you're the one that could provide the things that his wife can't. They'll desire you because maybe they're bored in their relationship. Maybe they're bored in their marriage. And because of that contrast, they'll be attracted to you because they say to themselves, oh, she's not boring like my girlfriend. And so they'll be attracted to you. Like, it's truly powerful. And the thing is, you can't do this on somebody who's happy. Like, if your name is, if their kid is Clarence and you have a real nice marriage, this is not going to work on them. This only works on the unsatisfied. Trust me, everyone eventually is going to be unsatisfied. But if they're not unsatisfied, you isolate them, right? You pretty much isolate them. And this is where isolation, people who are isolated, who are alone, who don't have a lot of friends and family, they're the ones that anyone who could provide any company, you're able to heal a wound, right? But what you want to be able to do is, if they're isolated, if they're bored, you want to be able to jab at their isolation. If they say, so if they're in a small town, you say, man, it must suck living here. Where would you like to move to? If they're unhappy in their marriage, oh man, for real, you're unhappy, what type of relationship would you want? How was your relationship in the beginning? Get them to talk about how unhappy they are. Get them to express their dissatisfaction and then exaggerate it. Say, oh yeah, fuck that bitch, man. She don't do that shit to you, man. Man, you gotta find someone who's better for you. You kind of like, it's like when you're in a group and everyone is not happy with the group, but somebody talks about it. And then everyone is like, yeah, I fucking hate this group, right? It creates like a wildfire. You're almost like fanning the flames. And so it'll create this, it'll increase the dissatisfaction. An example is Philadelphia. When I went to Temple, I lived in Temple and I lived in Reading, Pennsylvania. My roommate, Will, always talks shit about Reading. He's like, fuck Reading. Reading sucks. Reading sucks. But you know what happened? He talked so bad about it that every time I went back, I didn't want to be there. And I wanted to be in Philly more. It's kind of similar to that, where you find what they don't like, then you keep attacking it and saying how right they are, you validate their self-opinion, and eventually they'll gravitate towards the option that you're not talking shit about, right? That's one thing, right? The last one is push them. Oh, the next one is jab at their identity, right? You make them feel not man enough. This is crazy, right? Or you make them feel like they're not masculine enough. You compare them to a man who's more masculine. If they're skinny, you compare them to someone who's strong and big. This creates a type of insecurity that then they'll want to work out and be thinking of you the whole time. They'll want to make money and be thinking of you the whole time. But I can promise you, if you do that, they'll gain money, they'll get the muscles and find someone else and dump you, because in reality, they really don't like you because you're making them feel insecure. And the last one is that you push them away. You push them away. You let them know that you don't want this. You be the one that's unsure. You be the one that one day you want them, the next day you don't. They don't know what the fuck is going on in your head. And by you pushing them away, it forces them to gravitate towards you more. And that is really toxic. An example is Cookie and Magic Johnson. Cookie really wanted Magic, but Cookie understood something about male nature, is that if you push them away, they'll ignore every woman around them and focus on you. And that's exactly what Magic did. She even, when he had a party for becoming an NBA player, she didn't go. And he was like, Kiki, why didn't you go? And she was like, oh, I don't know, man. You have so many people. I don't want to be part of the group. I don't want to be part of the groupie. And he's like, no, Kiki, I'm for you, Kiki. Please don't do that. Something that's complete opposite, because every woman wanted him. And so he trusted her because she pushed him away. But he didn't know that she was actually manipulating him. Powerful shit. So let's break this down, people. Create a wound. Find out if they don't have a wound, if they're happy, jab at it, right? Create insecurities, right? And you can do that through gaslighting. It's evil, people. I hate saying this. I feel the flames of hell. Find a wound if they don't have one. Find a wound. Unfulfilled past. Look in their past. What didn't they achieve, right? Are they parents and maybe their children stripped them from their youth and now they want to relive their past, right? You can find that and use that to seduce them and get them to do what you want. Isolate them, right? Find current dissatisfaction. Jab at their identity. If they're too masculine, if they don't feel masculine enough, compare them to someone who's more masculine than them. It'll create the insecurity that will want to prove you wrong. Push them away so that they can feel like, if you apply these strategies and you push them away, it kind of like comes across, it doesn't come across as more manipulative. And the last one is give them the gift of your absence, people. For all the heaven people. Gift of your absence, just have a life. You don't have to manipulate. You don't have to jab at their insecurities. Just have absence by having a life, and it'll create a desire to be with you, and it crystallizes the memories you have created. The thought of you walking away, make sure that you're willing to walk away. This is a long-term thing, but the thought of willing to walk away marinates all of your senses, and whenever they fuck up, you punish disrespect, which increases the thought of you walking away, which causes them to respect you more. And the next thing is that honest criticism, right? You find something legit that they're doing something wrong, you criticize them, right? And then if they're humble enough, they'll fix their mistakes. And then above all, have a life. And I'll include I'm gonna include one more, criticism, but not honest critique, like harsh criticism. Find out something they do wrong and exaggerate it. And then pull away and act like nothing happened. Criticize them harshly, pull away, and act like nothing happened. That will fuck with people, man. But again, they're gonna want to get revenge. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed this content and want to check out my courses, I have a lot of courses for sale. Psychological Game of Attraction for women who are single. I apply some of these strategies in that course. Natural Chemistry is another course for women who are in relationships. And my new course, The Feminine Woman, is pretty much a self-help course for women. If you want to master 2025, check that course out. We have Emotional Mastery and Charisma Blueprint about how to be charismatic. And if you guys want to purchase my paintings, we're actually going to be including like bookcases, notebooks with my drawings in the front so that you guys can purchase it. We're going to have a bunch of different items to sell in the Mindful Attraction Gallery. So click on the description down below to see what paintings I have for sale. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Yeah. Okay, ahora